So the subject today is overcoming fear. And in this subject of fear, there are two words for us to reflect. One is association and other is identification. They are two words. Fear is an important mechanism in this human psyche. It is there to protect us. There are some animals, for example, mice, those who don't have a gene, certain gene that deals with fear, they don't have any danger, sense of danger, and they go straight into the world of the cat and get eaten up. Whereas those who have the gene for fear, they protect themselves. So this fear and the phenomena of fear protects us. It is the nature's mechanism. If, say, a country is whole, perpetually at war with someone, and the military is used all the time, so it is not just an occasional need, but it has become a norm, then the whole the resources of the country go towards the military, and the funds go towards the ministry, food goes there, and resources are spent to buy ammunition. And then the country hasn't got funds to invest on the education and infrastructure and the health. The population suffers, the whole country suffers. And this will be reflected more so down the line after 20 years because there is no education 20 years earlier. Something similar happens with our body. If we use this instinct of fear in a random way, too loosely, for smallest thing, we get increased metabolism takes place unnecessarily into our certain tissues, and at the same time, our building blocks of the body are shut down because that is not a priority. Priority is to run, and we could be using this instinct in a situation where I don't need to run. So this is where this aspect of association comes in. And what does this mean by association? So as an example, a child was happy looking at a mouse and wants to play with the mouse, and the mouse bites the child, and child suddenly creates a different association with this mouse. Mouse means pain, and each time this child sees a mouse, there is fear, and child begins to cry. Then child sees another animal with a similar white color. Child begins to cry because there is the same fear by association. Another time, child sees just a cotton wool, and child gets the same reaction of fear as it was on the first day. And so, in the rest of the life, it can have that reaction coming out of association. And this we can see in our lives. So you may have a bad experience with a certain person, and he may be coming from a certain background, a certain appearance. It is possible whoever else has similar appearance and similar background, you may get the same reaction in a completely irrational way, and you may avoid the person, take a decision to even be aggressive towards that person for no reason. So this is by association. And identification is another phenomenon where we identify. I feel I am somebody else, something else. This is the phenomenon of identification. Extremely absurd, but that phenomena exists. For example, a person may identify with his company where he works. So anytime anyone praises the company, he feels he is being praised. He takes it personally. Someone identifies with another person, can be a child. So someone praises the child, and the mother feels as if it is her that is being praised. She feels good. If the child is criticized, she feels I takes it personally. This identification extends to identifying with the country, identifying with religion, identifying with ideas. A huge expanse of this department of identification. And what is the connection with fear? Each of these identities are insecure. For example, I identify with the company, then there is a possibility that company can go bust. And if I'm identifying with it, I will take it personally. And also I'm identifying with the country, and country gets criticized, and it is possible may get criticized. So there is a fear in me. So different kinds of identities we create, and then different kinds of fear. Bigger the identity, bigger is the fear. And we can be very, very casual and careless about this area of identification. We might think it is excitement even, but most of it happens in a unconscious way. Society just promotes certain identities. For example, you might be praised by your friends for having a great car, in the smartest car, and without you knowing, you will end up having an identity. I'm the one who drives the latest sports car, and next year the new model comes up. This identity will be compared to get that new model, and because otherwise your identity is insecure. What will everyone else think you with the old car? And more this identity gets bigger, then it will have more fear. It becomes torture. Nothing is happening, but this identity is paranoid. It is thinking others might not be liking my car, or someone may be criticizing the car, and you are into this perpetual the state. Fear doesn't stay just on its own. Fear comes with its friends. In one case, it may get into anger. Another case, it may get into disappointment. Fear creates desperation to address it, and that bypasses our fear, our instinct of love and compassion. We become helplessly selfish because it is my problem and I have to address it. Don't like to stay in that state of fear. But unfortunately, when we have created identity, we can't be free from fear unless we remove the identity. I can go on buying the latest car, but the identity is there. I'm vulnerable, and then what happens here is that it reflects through our different bodily mechanisms. As was said before, this fear um, draws the instinct that I have to run, and that's why the blood pressure goes up, circulation is increased in the different muscles, and less circulation to the brain. So these different instincts are for us to fight or flight, and this is in a situation where you are in your company, you are in your office, and you are just using this instinct meant for rare situation of danger to the body. We are using it in a social environment where I don't need to run, but you sit there the building cells of the body are not getting the nutrition. Now, with all this that is going on, how can we address this? What can we do to be uh, free from this whole extent of fear and panic attacks? Is there some practical steps we can take? Answer is, of course, and and the big answer here: see the truth, see our bigger truth, and realize that we are truly, absolutely safe. This is where the knowledge of the soul comes in, but it is not just the information that there is a soul that is by itself may not mean much, but the realization that soul is immortal, eternally safe, and beforehand everything else down below is temporary and going to go. So you are seeing in full clarity both aspects. You are seeing the soul side of it, and you're also seeing the physical side. Why? You want to promote, coming back to that truth about yourselves that you are secure, and also see the absurdity of identifying with what you are not. That is necessary also. So you are seeing everything at a physical level is temporary, and you almost can see the end of it, and you are internally finding it absurd. Create an identity or attachment to anything here. So you are accepting that situation very clearly, and you are also realizing that the soul is truly like an observer, like a visitor, watching everything, watching the body, watching the company, watching the car, but the soul is distinct from any of these things. This state uh, is a state where there is deeper security, sense of being uh, safe uh, in the face of all change and end. An observer means this. And when you are having this feeling, the fear instinct and this defense instinct is not required anymore. During this phase, we are finding that different reactions take place. When there is feeling of security, there is peace. Feelings of security brings lightness and happiness, cheerfulness. Those feelings come in. We may be able to do it just for 1 minute, but that is okay. You come in this space for 1 minute, 1 minute reminding yourself that the soul is temporarily associated with everything physical, right from this body and role to everything else. And that observer is absolutely safe. When you experience this for 1 minute, during this 1 minute, there is no insecurity. We, as if, cut that old pattern, and as if we are changing the direction of our positioning. And we body, the brain, and the mind learns a new way of looking at things. This new pattern, it appears 1 minute. All the habits are why we have created this identification, fear. It started somewhere, and it started with one step. Same is the phenomena here. We want to create a new habit, and this habit is based on knowledge and clarity, but we can do it for 1 minute safely. Anyone can do this, and if you start playing with it, the experiences will follow, and certain peace, contentment that will follow. And internally, this gets recorded. You like it. You want to come back in that experience again. And each time you play with it, experience only can become deeper and, and easier. You have started a new pattern and new program. This has power to replace the old program and old positioning. Thank you. For the next some minutes, for how long? We create some opportunity to experiment. To come in this perspective of, of the observer. For this, the biggest gift we have is the spiritual sight, the most invaluable gift. And this sight helps us to see the entire physical world as very, very small theater, as if it is a small theater happening on a small stage, small board. That's a script. We accept the drama of the theater. And we come to the world beyond the theater. In the theater, there is a fiction. Saigon beyond. Beyond is the real world. This is the world of light and people of light. So with the spiritual side, we are seeing these two realities. Since the entire physical world is a small theater, and as if it is of very short time, and that includes the theater, includes this present scene, webinar, and this gathering, everything is part of this theater. And since it is insignificant, there is nothing to complain about in that theater. nothing to worry about, nothing to think about. This is like a key factor. We need to bring ourselves to this realization that whole of this physical world is so insignificant. There is nothing to think about over there. As if that whole department is closed down now. At least temporarily, I don't need to come here. This is what allows you to fly. Once this option of the theater is closed, the sky option opens up. This is what we can call wings, using the wings. Wings are there, but the mud of the physical world as if blocks it, doesn't allow the wings to be used. In the sky, it is a region of light, but a region where there are no vibrations of desire and no vibrations of disappointment. Home of silent contentment and peace. Where there are no desires, there is peace. Where there are no desires, there is contentment. And there are no sorrows. This region appears like a sky, world of light, world of complete stillness. In the sky are these living stars. And the word living star, that is just a focus. We might see the sky in some color like orange, red. That is just a focus. But more important to grasp the personality and the experience. They are free world in a true sense, distant observers that creates in them that deep sense of peace. It's a state where there is no desire, no attachment, no disappointment. Sense that everything is good and all are good. That's what we call bliss. The world of the family, all in this world are like this. That becomes obvious. Starting position of everyone is noble. All are immensely good, saintly. What do we mean by this? If someone has less ego and less sorrow, you will call them saint. These people of light have got zero ego, zero sorrow, but also zero ignorance. They are not caught in that physical story. We also realize that God will not be in the story. This is God's world with God-like beings and company of God. One who is free like this, he is in a state to experience the company of God, experience the personality of God, understands what this is. Mind where always experience of freedom from the story, the experience of full bliss, full love, full peace, and wisdom. One who knows the real world, real people, one who is out of that bondage. So these people of light, they are not just trying to deal with some desires. They are free from desires, free from those fears. On the contrary, they are experiencing the highest and the noblest feelings. They consider themselves immensely lucky. They see their greatest and beautiful truth. From this sky as they prepare to come back in the physical world. They come as souls, they come as visitors, come as observers. They are involved, but at the same time free. They are involved in everything, but this is a temporary story. They know the great reality beyond the story. They cannot be affected in any way by the fiction. With this understanding, clarity, they come in the physical world.